Stewart Film Screen announces contemporary cabriolet screens for multimedia installations with features that are installer-friendly, including choice of motors and easy setup adjustments from the screen's housing front. Stewart Film Screen is also introducing Ambient Shade, a window treatment product that controls sunlight in commercial and residential applications.
The Crestron MPS integrates 5 separate AV components into a single rack-mountable package. MPS brings a complete presentation control and signal routing solution to boardrooms, classrooms, and auditoriums. MPS works right out of the box and may be controlled directly from the front panel. MPS from Crestron.
Welcome back to Sound and Communications Viewpoint. My name is Jay Armand, and I'm joined by Mike White. And when we left, we promised that we were going to talk about what I call the little white trucks, which I guess Mike, the best way to describe it is the low barrier to entry into this industry, what it takes for an IT guy to get into the AV business, hanging bangs, putting projectors up. What's the impact on your business today from that channel?
It's very serious. The entry level now for other low voltage contractors to come and do entry level AV is non-existent. They can get projectors and screens from distributors and from every source, from any source, and as a result they can do all of the basic stuff, and it represents a real hit on some AV integrators. As a result, that's why we have focused and will continue to focus, and I think that would parallel your company as well, on the advanced areas of systems integration, the places where your investment in education, which I think that's a place that I'd like to really ask you about, Jay, is you're currently the chairman of the Infocom board, and I'm privileged to serve on the board as well. And could you talk about some of the education opportunities that are available so that we can react and be proactive instead of reactive?
Certainly, Mike. And as you know, and Mike was kind enough to let me take this description. One of the things that Infocom has really done lately is created a course, and they call it AV IT course, but an IT AV course to teach IT, the basics of IT, and really to get into some advanced certifications, some advanced topics, to give the AV person, which kind of takes the opposite approach to what you and I were talking about before, of take the IT guy and teach him AV, but this is a way to get some IT knowledge into your good, to your smart AV people. Mike, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was situations that we've run into in the past, where manufacturers will make a product and release a product with 0-dot firmware, the latest and greatest, the bleeding edge we'll call it, and sometimes they maybe know that this product isn't ready for prime time, and we've dealt with situations where they know that it's not ready, but they feel as though that because they're in a competitive environment, that they cannot let the fact that their product has any weakness out. Have you ever run into situations like that?
Yeah, I call it vaporware. Yeah, it's a real factor. Not as much now as it was during the early 90s and entering 2000, but it's still a factor. It still represents a key strategic thing that we as integrators must do, and that is to trust but verify. That is, take the piece of equipment, integrate it with the working solution before it rolls out to the customer side. Make sure it answers the specs that are on the piece of paper.
I would just say that without sounding too soapboxy, because I certainly know that in any of these situations, we approach this with a team. It's my company, a design consultant, consulting engineers, and the equipment manufacturers, and we're working together to get the customer the solution that they need. And I think that a lot of times, and we've run into this in the past, where the manufacturers don't think that we can handle the truth. They know that there's a problem, and they're afraid to tell us because of brand X would find out. And then if you look at the AV-centric companies that are getting into the IT and compare them to the IT-centric companies that are moving into AV, like, for example, Cisco. And if they have a problem with their product, or if they have a flaw, or if they have some interoperability issues, it's public knowledge, it's posted on an internet, it's there and it's available for their partners to see it. And I would say that if there are any manufacturers watching, you can trust us. We're not going to take this information and run out to customers and say, you know, oh, hey, don't buy brand X because brand Y, you know, has this problem. So I think that's one of the biggest issues that's facing us right now is that you know, look, we're all in this together. It's certainly, you know, I hesitate to call it a new space, but it's an evolving space. And the companies that are going to be there in the end are the companies that are going to team together and are going to work together and are going to get the solutions, you know, to the customer and get them to work. I mean, it's that simple. So what do you think about that?
Well, I think that the last...
That's a mouthful, by the way.
Well, yeah. But the last thing that you mentioned is the fact that we are a team, that the manufacturer, the systems integrator, definitely teamwork and involved in every element of making sure that the systems work. And I think that associated with the world that we're living in, we also are having to do more teaming with other companies that are sometimes IT-centric. So I think that this whole convergence idea is making everybody get out of their comfort zone. It's getting everybody involved in areas that they didn't get involved in 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Very well said. And on that note, that will bring this month's Viewpoint to a conclusion. I'd like to thank my guest, Mike White, CEO of Multimedia Solutions in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm Jay Armand, President and COO of Advanced Audiovisual in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and look forward to next month's issue of Viewpoint. Thank you for your time.